Alright, I'm going to be going in with a double-ended spoolie that came in a kit. I'm going to be using the black end to comb my brows upward on both sides. And I'm going to be using the white side to comb the product through the brows. And for product, I'm going to be using the Elmer's washable school glue. This is an old drag queen tip to block out your brows. You just want to saturate as much of the glue into your brow. So I'm going to do that by strobing it back and forward on my brow. And then I'm going to take the white side of the double-ended spoolie and comb my brows back up. If you have dark brows, you might have to go back over it with a second coat of glue like myself.
I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
Alright, so we did that to both sides. Now we're going to go over our brows with the Ben Nye setting powder. You can use whatever setting powder that you have, but I'm going to be using Ben Nye. And to apply it, I'm going to be using a sponge brush. And I just pretty much dab it on my brow. Alright, so we did that to both sides. Now we're going to go over our brows with the Ben Nye setting powder. You can use whatever setting powder that you have, but I'm going to be using Ben Nye. And to apply it, I'm going to be using a sponge brush. And I just pretty much dab it on my brow. Alright, I have a regular plain paintbrush that I'm going to be using to get the excess setting powder off of my face. You want to make sure that you remove this because when you go in to paint, it will add too much texture. And you only want the surface of the brow to be textured. Here I have a jar of regular cotton balls. And we're going to be using my favorite latex, which is Monster Liquid Latex. I got it from Amazon for about $9. Want to make sure that you shake it up really good. I'm going to be using a popsicle stick, my fingers, a sea sponge, and another clay making tool that has a sharp point on it. Alright, to unravel the cotton ball, you want to stick your finger through the middle of it and just pull it apart. Alright, I ripped a little sponge apart that I'm going to be using to put the latex to do the brows. I eventually stopped using this sponge. Alright, for this look we want our eyebrows to be downward pointing and angry. So we're going to angle them diagonally on top of our eyebrows. Do not touch your natural brow, just put it on top. Once you get the surface of latex down, you're going to go ahead and pull a piece of the cotton ball apart that we've separated already. And you're just going to place it on top of the latex.
You're a monster. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch.
And you want to fit it to you. I'm doing mine up to my wig cap.
Mr. Grinch. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch.
Alright, so we want to make sure that we saturate the cotton ball with more latex. That way we can move it and shape it however we want. This is the sea sponge that I'm going to be using. It's a little stern. It's a new sea sponge. They're best used wet. But this was fresh out of the pack. So it's going to be messy. I find using regular kitchen sponges work better than sea sponges because you don't have to wet them prior to using them.
You nauseate me.
So if you can move that.
You're a nasty, wasty skunk.
Alright, I'm just making sure that I have enough latex into the cotton ball. I'm going to be shaping it using a popsicle stick and my fingers to get the shape that I want.
And I quote, stink, stank, stunk.
Alright, I added another piece of cotton ball on top of it because it was starting to get a little flat and we want it to be a raised look. I did it to the other side as well. Now I'm going to take the sea sponge and put another thin layer of latex on my upper lip.
Your soul is an appalling dump heap.
And we're also going to take another piece of cotton ball and place it on there. And we're going to repeat these steps on the sides of our mouths, the bottom of our chin, and the top of our nose, meshing it with our top lip.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as...
Alright, so we pretty much have our mouth done in the shape that we want to do. I went ahead and meshed the nose with the mouth and the sides. Now we're going to go in with the paint. I'm starting on my forehead because I know that the eyebrow pieces are already dry. If you can see, they've already set yellow. So I'm going to start there using green out of my Snazaroo palette. And I've pretty much covered my entire face and left my bottom lip out. I'm now going on top of the brows using a yellow. And this is on the raised area of the brow. I'm using yellow with a regular paintbrush. I'm going to do that to both sides. Alright, I put some yellow on the cheeks using my finger to act as a little highlight because the green was a little dull, and it's just to shine it up. And I also did that on both sides as well. I'm going to go back over it with the green. Mix with a little yellow so we can lighten up the green.
The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk. You're a rotter. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch.
Excuse me, I'm going to pursue lawful killing.
Alright, so I have a very thin paintbrush and I'm going in with black to make little fine hairs on our brow. And I'm going to do those going all the way up on top of the raised area on both sides. Then I'm going to take it and go in between the lines that are on the side of our face. Still using the black, and this is just to add definition so you can see the separation between the marks that we put on our cheeks. Alright, I went ahead and I drew in a little nose on the tip of my actual nose, a line down with the spots on the side of the line. Alright, I went in with some Fenty highlighter and I put it on my lid, acting as an eyeshadow. And this was the Kilowatt Hustler Baby highlighter that I'm using on my lid. Alright, I also added a wing and some black eyeliner. Now I'm putting on a matte red lipstick on the bottom lip. It's the only part that's exposed. I also added highlighter to my cheeks, my chin, my forehead, and the top part of my nose.
You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch.
Alright, so I have these green little eyelashes, and I'm going to be applying those the standard way. And they're like a green plastic, I want to say, eyelash extension.
The three words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stump. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of the sinful.
Alright, I added a green wig, a Christmas hat, and I'm putting on a red scarf.
Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dumping, overflowing with
And
the
this
most
is the Diva
disgraceful
Grinch.
assortment of deplorable rubbish imaginable.
If you want to go all the way, you can add green to your hand. You can go farther down on your chest, but I knew I was going to be wearing the scarf. But that's pretty much the look. I'm making faces. It's pretty much stiff underneath there, and make sure that you can breathe when you're putting the latex on your face. Alright, I hope you all like it. Thank you.